$443,860,529.89. It's a pretty staggering gross total number. It's for the folks out there that don't know what that number means. It's the total reported by the Department of Justice of distributions made from Fulll Tilt Poker to its shareholders. Talk to me a bit about where the inception of the distribution talk began into the kind of first vote to distribute funds or profits to the shareholders.
The inception? Well, I mean, look, when you start a company,
the plan is to make a profit. The
plan is to make a profit and to distribute those profits to shareholders.
At what point did the company become successful enough to bring the conversation to a vote or to a board meeting? Do you recall who the first person to request a distribution was?
Look, there was definitely, the membership was very patient initially. And I think there may have been discussions. I'm just speculating now, so I just don't, in 2006, maybe 2005. But the company was growing and it was reinvesting all of its profits, and so I don't think we ever really got close to making any distributions before they actually started, which would have been spring of 2007, I believe. April
2007.
Yeah. So I don't know that it was any one particular person's idea to start distributions in terms of, the company had a lot of excess cash at the time. I think a good 20-30 million in just extra cash that it didn't need, or we didn't think it needed at the time. I'm sure that there was a member discussion about it, and I'm sure that the board at some point determined, okay, it's time to consider and to talk to the members about, talk to the members about the distributions. I can tell you that there's one person amongst the membership who was always very anti-distributions, never wanted to make them in the first place, always argued very strongly against them, and always argued that every single distribution that the company made would weaken the company. And that was Chris Ferguson. He didn't really have any use for the money. He didn't care about the money. He's the opposite of greedy that way. Over the years, once the money started rolling in, I mean, he didn't even, I remember visiting him in his house just in 2010 or 11. Seemed like a house that he had owned for a while. It was a 1,500 square foot house in a regular neighborhood in Las Vegas. He just wasn't a big spender that way, His lavish spending was on the occasional, those capes he wore or whatever, a new hat. And then, ultimately his African charity. He just he thought they were a really bad idea, and obviously in hindsight he was so right about it.